All right. Good day, good evening, and anything else, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Live the Fuel show. And this is a closeout and a special trifecta of just a personalized one-on-one sessions with me. So I've only done this a few times over the show's history. And I just aired, obviously, our Happy Thanksgiving episode 232. And then I dedicated episode 233 to Calvin, our coonhound, our man's best friend, a dog that has been, what I've not realized is a bigger part of my life than I realized, but we almost lost him this past month due to cancer and actually really recovery from cancer surgery, turning him into a tripod. That's right, a three-legged animal now to help save his life and get rid of the cancer. To take the pain away. And if you listen to episode 233, you'll understand that more. So he's bouncing back as I'm recording this episode 234. We have practically, I'm going to go with 98% perfect blood work. That's right, Calvin the Coonhound. We have reversed his renal failure. His kidneys have bounced back. He has been an athletic specimen as a new tripod, three-legged dog the past 4 or 5 days. I've been gone traveling on business most of the week, but hey, I am beyond excited to see this. I've been watching it through little videos that my fiance posts, but seeing him as a three-legged animal try and sprint after another dog in a park, after him literally being bedridden, not eating, kidneys shutting down, partial renal failure. I mean, again, go listen to episode 233 and you'll understand. Again, I've not done this in the show's history. I really like to have you, if this is a newer listener, I really like to have you guys dialing in with my new guest co-hosts. And sometimes I bring back repeat guest co-hosts, but the point is I love digging in and having a chat with all the cool guest co-hosts we bring on this show. And these could be health gurus, entrepreneur, business gurus, or just in general, just lifestyle-focused episodes. So that's why again, tagline for the show is we fuel your health, your business, your lifestyle. So this episode, I wanted to get more personal again. So episode 232, sharing some of the power of giving back charity work on Thanksgiving 2018 and our adventures from that. And then episode 233 is letting you a little bit deeper in my personal life with Calvin The Coonhound and all the struggles we went through for our beloved puppy. Well, he's a 10-year-old. He's not really a puppy. Well, now 234, I'm going to close this out and then we'll be back to the normal programming with bringing out some guest co-hosts. But I'm actually having fun with these because I can keep them shorter, I can keep them direct, and I try and really bring it in deeper for you guys and get you guys a little more behind the scenes. But let me tell you, I've only casually mentioned this on a few of the shows, but let's talk about a book. That's right. I am well, apparently I'm already an author because I've been published in a magazine 4 times now. Back to the microphone here. Shout out to Network Magazine. They keep inviting me back to write on healthy lifestyle. So beautiful magazine. They do amazing work, amazing color, high quality paper. And I'm not very into physical magazines. The reason why I like these guys is because they have a digital magazine. So I don't have to buy the prints. I can just watch the magazine online. And that's a big fan. So actually my last article, let me find it here. I actually don't remember. It's called I can't even show on the camera here. There we go. Your Inner Circle of Health. And I've mentioned many times on this show about the importance of who you surround yourselves with and the people you allow into your lives and around your lives. Well, that's important when it comes to your health too. Put that magazine back. All right, so published 4 times, working on a 5th article now. So according to some other people who've been on my show, shout out to Mary Shores and other people who have either written books, authors, editors, etc. They said, listen, a lot of people would love to be printed in a magazine. So you're already an author. I'm like, cool. Well, the reason why I was doing this was to put in the reps because I've also, over the history of this show, hinted about possibly one day writing a book. Well, it's in motion. If you haven't listened to some of the episodes where I kind of teased it, I bought into a coaching program called the Self-Publishing School. And I am an affiliate. So people hearing this want to finally get off their duff like me and finally make a book happen, but do it in the newer modern way where I don't have to pay thousands of dollars to a publishing company. And I want to learn how to self-publish, ergo, self-publishing school. That enticed me. I needed to, I talk about this in the show many times, put some skin in the game. And that's what I decided to go with. I said, well, I think I dropped, this is a special promo, I think I spent $3,000. That's right, $3,000. Now again, if you listen to the last episode, 233, I tell you about how we spent $8,000 on our Calvin The Coonhound. Go listen to that episode to understand why. So it's been a very expensive holiday season. So, but admittedly, I spent this money, I spread it out over 3 payments over the past 3-4 months. So I've been in this program for over 90 days now. They give you a coach, they give you an opportunity to work with people who have either already published books or in the process of self-publishing their books. But the biggest thing for me was I wanted to figure out how to basically make it happen. I've had writer's block, if you want to call it that, but I'm passionate about where Live the Fuel came from, right? One of the biggest triggers is the impact of my prior 2-year stint in my career serving with the U.S. Forest Service as a hotshot wildland firefighter. So, if you're newer to the show, yes, that's why there's fire in my logo. That's why I'm always pretty fired up. That's why it's on my hat. That's why it's on my mugs. I'm proud of it. So I want to make sure people understand that, why I'm always fired up and why fire is everywhere. So, but it goes deeper than that, and people need to understand why. So I've had countless people on the show, and a lot of people don't know what wildland firefighters do. And this year in 2018, there's been some massively worse in the state of California, worse in their history, officially, or this year. 3 of the fires, Paradise Fire, the Woolsey Fire, and the Camp Fire. All 3 were going on, north, central, and southern part of California. Massive. We have hundreds of lives lost. Thousands of homes and structures lost in these wildfires. Because, it is a whole different little segue, but because of wildland urban interface, that's what I'm going to call it, WUI, W-U-I. When I went to my fire academy to become certified as a wildland firefighter to be eligible to get hired, I learned about this new program called WUI, Wildland Urban Interface, W-U-I, because, long story short, it sums up how, over the years, people want to get out of the city and they want to be closer to the countryside. Well, in states like Arizona, New Mexico, and California, they're very dry. And the deeper you get into the mountains or the canyons, the higher the risk you are at a wildfire risk. But people don't seem to pay attention to that. I can go off on that, but the point is, you're increasing your chances of having problems. So I'll leave it at that because there's a whole lot of politics going on with that. But the reason why I wanted to bring up this was, this is all part of my history, right? I spent 2 years serving on one of the elite hotshot crews. Shout out to the Pleasant Valley Hotshots that used to be based out of Young, Arizona. They have since moved to Mesa, Arizona, and rebranded as Mesa Hotshots. But when I served there, they were 30, almost 40 years old, one of the oldest hotshot crews. We were one of the last remotely located hotshot crews in the mountains. It was harder for their hiring practices because most people didn't want to be away from their family. And you literally have to live on the compound. Like when I was there, like you're gone, like you're out of the city. You have to stay within a 2-hour callback. So your days off, if you're on callback, the only place you can go is, I don't know, go back into the outdoors around you, or the nearest town is Payson. Not much of a city. But if you wanted to go to places like Phoenix, Scottsdale, or you want to go north to a beautiful city called Flagstaff, you have to, and that's a 3-hour drive. Well, unless we had just finished a major fire where we worked 2 weeks straight, no days off, full 16-hour shifts, then you're eligible to take your 2 days off, which are activated as full medical leave, meaning you don't have to be on callback, and then you can go wherever you want those 2 days. But those are few and far between, depending on the fire season, because you have to put in the full 14 active 5 days. So anyway, it's lessons like this that I want to share in a book. And I decided to actually have an episode finally talk about it because I have finished writing it. That's right. I have finished writing a book that I actually did not write. That's right. Did you hear that? I didn't write the book. I did, but not in the traditional fashion. Me being the podcaster and somebody who travels a lot on business, I cannot sit down and write. I mean, I could. I just don't want to. So I decided to get creative. And so shout out to the app Otter.ai, O-T-T-E-R, like the animal, Otter.ai, AI for artificial intelligence. I've let it slip on a few other shows, but I just want to plug them because once I found that app, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I could talk my story. I could talk my book like I already do on the podcast for over 2 years. Well, heck, I'm already a friend to the microphone. I'm already a friend to the audio world. I already crushed podcasts and audiobooks in my business travels. How about I just pause on some of my business trips from actually listening and go back to speaking? So that's what I did. So my upcoming book in 2019 would have never been written if I hadn't at least committed, number one, to start putting in the reps, getting published in that magazine. 3, spending some cash, getting into that self-publishing school. Because once I spend the money, I got skin in the game, guys. Like once you got skin in the game, you got to do something. Unless you just like flushing money down the toilet. But you drop in 3 G's, I'm in. Let's do it. So I say, let me check my subtotal here. Actually, let me go ahead and screen share for you guys for the video feed on YouTube. So I use an app called Evernote and absolutely love it. So this is one of my notepads. So I have summed up my word counts. Actually, this isn't even up to date. I actually have 2 more additional chapters I added, but let me give you a rundown for the listeners on the podcast world. So an article that I read years ago was a very, very brief statement on a Hotshots website. I think it was written by the superintendent. And I think they wrote it just to dissuade you from coming to work for them. Because Hotshots are no joke, and you'll learn this in the book. But you got to suck it up, buttercup, and be prepared to do things you don't want to do, and be prepared to be told what you think you don't want to do, and you think you know it all, yada, yada, yada. So the article, if I remember correctly, I believe it was called, or it was a document, and it said, so you want to be a hotshot, question mark. Or I think it actually said, so you want, like W-A-N-N-A, so you want to be a hotshot, question mark. And then it proceeded to list all of these god-awful job descriptions. And the reason why is because they want you to understand, like, this is not a job for the weak. This is not a career choice for people looking for a quick side hustle. You're risking your life with other men and women. As I hinted, you're serving sometimes 16 hours a day on the fire line in the mountains. You're hiking in with, at times, 40, 50 pounds of gear on your back. My first rookie year, I was a digger. So sometimes you had to hike in with a 5-gallon box of water on your shoulder beside your hand tool. Then I started working with a chainsaw as one of the lead sawyers. So now you're hiking with a chainsaw on your shoulder. So all of these variables, if that entices you, check it out. So anyway, that's probably going to be the title of the book. I already own the .com and everything else. So don't try and steal it. I'm already ahead of you. And so some of the chapters here as I'm screen sharing, right? So I have my draft, I have a preface, I have a book intro. My writing coach from self-publishing school told me I really have to put my why out there to connect with my audience, and then establish a what to reinforce the whys. So, and I even decided to get a couple themes going because I decided to talk about a lot of the lessons I learned. That's the point of this book. Not just sharing why I became a hotshot, but really what I learned from it, the life transformations from it, the life lessons from it. And it's important, I think, to get transparent. And I'm hoping this book does get back. But anyway, so real quick. So some of the chapters possibly may be titled The Why to What on the Money Game and Financial Freedom. Because one of the advantages of firefighting is if you're going to the mountains all the time, you can't spend your money. So be smart, let it store up in your bank account. Wipe out debt, invest. I don't know. We'll see what goes into that chapter. And then obviously redefine my what more. And here we go. finding out about the Hotshots. I'm not sure if that's going to be the title or not. By the way, anybody listening to this episode, if you hear some of these chapter titles and it's like, what if it sounds like this? Feel free to email me, scott@livethefuel.com, or message me on Twitter or Instagram, Facebook, whatever. I appreciate your feedback. I'm open to it. So some of the chapters will be escaping the norm, because clearly what I was used to, the cubicle life in the regular corporate world, was not what this was. Fitness and pack testing. Doing backpack weight resistance testing was a standard requirement. Being top of your game in fitness was a major requirement. This was a very physical job, very militaristic. Embracing minimalism, me giving away most of what I owned and fitting my life into a 1999 Subaru Outback wagon car. Loved that process, and I still have lessons learned from that I still use to this day. I don't like having a lot of stuff. My gear hacks, my story of rookie to snooky. Your first year as a firefighter, you're a rookie. And according to my bosses, your second year as a firefighter, you're a snooky. You're still a rookie, you're just a second year rookie, so you're a snooky. No connection to Jersey Shore's snooky, just saying. Getting humble, that's a big chapter. I really had to get humble in that job because I was considered older. I already had a lot of career experience, but I had no fire experience. So it was a big wake-up call. I had to pull my head out of my butt and realize I didn't know a thing. So I needed to put my head down and dig and listen to my bosses. So accepting that was a transformation. And then Soup Truck Bitches and Dalton Lassiter. So the superintendent's truck that always led our convoy was basically the command center. And one or two people were always assigned to take care of that truck. You cleaned it, you organized it, you kept it stocked with supplies, you ran inventory on it, everything. Like if there's something wrong with that truck, it was on you. So I was actually a soup truck bitch. And then Dalton Lassiter was one of my fellow soup truck bitches. And then unfortunately, Dalton did not make it back the second year. He lost his life to an accidental gun incident. But I will bring that up in the chapter because he was a true epitome of somebody who would have committed to a lifelong career of firefighting. So I want to make sure his name was never forgotten. And then obviously brotherhood. And then the lessons learned of connecting with people you risk your lives with was very, very powerful. You can't learn that in the corporate space. And then situational awareness. A common line that we used was keep your SA up. Keep your situational awareness up. That's how you save lives. That's how you stay alive. That's how you keep your brothers and your sisters that are fighting fire alongside of you alive. You keep your situational awareness in and around you up to a high level of attention. And I'm going to dig into that as well in the book. So there you go, guys. That's just a taste of what's going into So You Want to Be a Hotshot. And I wanted to share that as a teaser because I'm now moving into editing. Oh, man, it's not a pain in the butt. But that's going to take a little while. And then once editing is done, apparently there's multiple layers of editing. I have to go back into my modules on the website for self-publishing school and go through a couple new lessons. I stopped at the writing sections. Now that I've finished writing, I have approaching 30,000 words that's going to go into this book. I want to keep it light, but I want to keep it powerful. And then who knows what's going to happen through editing. I can add some, I can take some away, I don't know. That's why I paid to go into a program where I'm surrounded by other authors and other people who have already authored many, many books. So that's the power of groups. Let me stop sharing here for the video feed. And that's what I want to share with you guys. So, I mean, episode 232 was around, hey, here's a little glimpse into what Scott's been doing the past 8 years, every year for Thanksgiving, giving back to people on the streets or who live in low income in Harlem, New York. Hot meals going out every morning on Thanksgiving morning. Shout out to Sister Mary Lanning of Yes Solutions, who founded that. And then, obviously, the last episode was focused on Calvin The Coonhound, helping him survive cancer and him becoming a tripod and us trying to reverse his renal failure. And now he's bouncing back. So our hearts are glowing right now with happiness, and Calvin is getting back to his normal self. But I wanted to share this is all been going on in the past 2 months. So writing the book, Calvin's health problems, getting ready for these annual charity events. This is all behind the scenes. So that's why I want to create like a little trifecta of episodes here. Because, I'm running a podcast. I'm running a business. I have clients I take care of. We've got Calvin The Coonhound's health problems, keeping my fiance happy while she's depressed from Calvin's health problems. Oh, and I'm writing a book. So I'm going to sum this up because it's not a brag. It's one of the points of this episode for you all is to remind you that we all have a lot of stuff going on. It's okay. And sometimes we get pushed to a breaking point. Believe me, I have been stressed a lot the past month or two, and I'm usually trying to stay on top of that. But nobody's perfect. These are the lessons in life that we learn from that make us stronger. So embrace them and learn from them. The classic quote, if your kid's nearby, put the earmuffs on their ears, but the shit's gonna hit the fan, okay? Sorry, it's gonna happen. But I look forward to it now. I look forward to a big spray of crap hitting that fan because I know that powerful and amazing things are gonna come after that. After you clean it all up. But the point is that when you embrace the suck, I think that was one of my chapters. That's one of the newer chapters. I'm not sure that's going to make it in the book yet or not, but that's a great slogan. But embracing the suck is how you grow in life. Stop being a pussy. Stop being a wuss. Stop backing down from challenges. You want to grow with somebody. You want to step it up. You want to fuel that health, that business, that lifestyle. That's what it takes. That's one of the standard principles. That's why I'm writing this book. Okay, like firefighting changed my life. But my father also helped inspire a lot of work ethic into my life. If I didn't have what my father taught me as a kid, I don't think I would be able to pull off firefighting. I still learned a lot from firefighting, but it also connected all these different levels in my life. Like me working my way up in the corporate world without a college degree, making more money than my friends did without a college degree. And all of these things I can now reflect on in this podcast for you all. So that's why I wanted to share the book writing process, because this is not easy, guys. I don't like writing. I mean, those magazine articles, that was actually me writing. I will admit that. I wrote those articles. But this book, in order to pull this book off, that was all Otter.ai. That's me while driving in my car, just turning on the app, going through Bluetooth on the car stereo, and talking out the chapters, then coming back to my hotel or coming home, exporting all the files as text files, moving them into Microsoft Word. Then right now I'm doing spell checking, grammar checking. Now I'm editing, and then you have to build that content into these structured paragraphs they're supposed to be. So you think that's easy? No, but I have a mission, and I have a message to share. So I have to embrace the suck. I have to jump over these walls, these hurdles. I have to let the shit hit the fan and spray all over the place, and then go through the problems of cleaning all that up, because that's where the lessons in life are going to come from. All right. So I'm going to close the show out. Again, this was a part of the little trifecta factor. 3 back-to-back solo episodes with me, your Chief Intrepid Officer, your founder of LIVETHEFUEL. It is my show, so I figured, what the heck, let's get some personalized content out there, let you guys in from behind the scenes. We had some holiday behind the scenes. We had our loving dogs' health problems behind the scenes in our lives, and now, hey, the book is coming. So thanks for tuning in to another Powerful LIVETHEFUEL show. I'm serious. If you guys have feedback, don't hesitate to reach out, all right? I mean, I'm a busy dude, but I will get back to you. You can tweet me. You can private message me on Instagram. You can private message me on Facebook. I'll get back to you sooner or later. Or, again, if you have feedback on these chapters, just book only, by the way. I'm too busy. Book only, but seriously, Scott@LiveTheFuel.com. Yeah, hit me up. All right, guys. We're here to fuel your health, your business, and your lifestyle. And I hope we did that today. But stay tuned for the next episode. We'll be back to our normal format, and plenty of guest co-hosts are in the lineup. So get ready for some more amazing people coming in and helping influence your changes. The only thing I ask, because I don't have paid sponsors in this show, is remember, please share. Okay, I'm just trying to give back. I'm trying to help influence people in a positive way. If these shows do that for you, share. All right. Talk to you guys again soon. Have a great holiday season. Let's close out 2018 strong and embrace that suck. Later, gang.